Is it time to quit your job? You feel overwhelmed, undervalued, you're burnt out, wondering if any of this is worth it anymore. Hi, I'm Tiffany Simms. I'm a holistic wellness and high performance coach who specializes in helping humans just like you overcome burnout without leaving their six-figure jobs. So you might be finding yourself at your desk a whole 2 minutes at the beginning of the day before someone says something that sends you into a spiral, and you're on Indeed.com looking at remote work options across the country. Is that you? Yes. All right. If that's you, you're in the right place. I've got you. And I want to be clear. I'm not here to tell you if it's time to quit your job or stick it out, but I am going to push you just a little bit to honestly evaluate and answer these 5 questions before you make your final decision as to whether it's time to quit your job. So let's get into these questions. Question number 1, get a notebook because you're going to need it and you're going to need a little bit of space. Okay. So the first question we're going to ask is, what does my perfect what does my perfect work day look like? And I mean, like, from the time you open your eyes to the moment that you close them at the end of the day. I want you to write it out in complete and utter detail. I want you to imagine that someone is about to make a movie about your perfect workday, and they need every single detail: the feelings, the smells, the accomplishments in your day, how you handle conflict as your perfect best self, and how you go about celebrating successes throughout the day. What type of mom, wife, sister, daughter, employer, leader, peer, coach are you? Maybe it even includes, if you have kids, like the specific touches of standing at the sink, filling up your water bottle before walking out the door and feeling your kid coming up and hugging your leg. I want complete detail, moment by moment through the day. This should take you a minute. Okay. Once you have that down, we're moving into question number 2. And number 2 is, what words do people use to describe the best parts of you? The words that describe the essence of who you are to the core of your being. The ones that when someone says it, you're like, oh, you get me, you see me. I feel so seen right now. What are those 3 words? I want you to write them down. Okay. Then we're going to move on to question number 3. How is your day and the words people are currently using to describe you different from what you just wrote down? This is going to take you a bit of honesty and being able to put your ego to the side for a minute and evaluate how you right now are not being the best version of you and how people really are seeing you in your work right now. Okay. Once you have that, we're going to move into question number 4. What do you, not your boss, not your peers, not your partner or your kids, what do you need to do differently to be and live what you just wrote down? Maybe it means finding a gym on the way that's on your way to or from work, or next to the kids' soccer field so you can drop them off and go take a 30 minutes to focus on your physical health. Maybe it's incorporating a lunchtime walk so that you're getting movement and blood flow throughout the day to remind your body that it is able and full of life. It might look like providing upward coaching to your boss in a productive way. And what I mean by that is, sometimes, let's say your boss delegates something to you and you're overwhelmed because you have this to-do list that is a mile long and they said they needed it yesterday, and you're like, how on earth can everything be important? If everything's important, then nothing is important. Like, what the F? We've all had those moments. And I want you to pause for a second and remember that the person who you report to, they're human too. And maybe they don't know about the world of personal development, and they don't know that there's even an option to go work on themselves and better their skills. And they're just trying to survive their day. And that maybe, just maybe, all these really urgent tasks that they put on your plate yesterday, that were yesterday's fire, they forgot about them. And they don't even realize that it's on your plate anymore. And so a simple, like, okay, got it. That's what's important right now. Can we just quickly go over my priorities right now? I wanted to go over what was on my plate today to make sure that I'm fitting this in appropriately and still working on the things that are matter and that are urgent right now. Because I can tell you, let me try that again. I can't tell you how many times I have presented that to my boss when I worked in corporate America, and they didn't even know how to respond at first. And the first time I asked about priority setting, there was a little bit of defense because they felt like I was challenging them, and it was me having to hold my peace in my space and go, "Oh, no, no, no. I'm not arguing. I get it. Like, I will work on this. I just want to make sure that you and I are on the same page so that I get you what you need." And over time, that boss learned that I was here not to fight with them, but to make sure that the team was succeeding. And then together we were able to set the priorities. And sometimes those priorities change day to day based off of what was happening in other departments throughout the company. But had I not been brave enough to open my mouth and respectfully ask those questions from a viewpoint of I'm here for the team, we would have never had those conversations, and I would have kept spinning my wheels, getting more frustrated and more frustrated. And guess what? By me providing upward coaching, like that example, my boss was able to grow in their role in leadership. And so sometimes we have to take responsibility for that and ask the right questions, provide the right feedback, give feedback that we would want to receive. That's both positive and things to work on, to improve on. Okay. Maybe you need to learn how to delegate. And delegation can look so different. At work, delegation can be, all right, I have this big project, but there's these bits and pieces that don't belong to my department and to me. I need to delegate them to the correct department so that they get done, and that feeds my big project. Other times, delegation might look like hiring the neighbor kid to come over once every other week to vacuum your house for you or mow your lawn. But that's you identifying where you're spinning your wheels and getting all spun up in your life on things that you don't personally need to take care of that do belong somewhere else. And we already talked about priority setting. Okay. Once you have that, once you know what you personally need to do differently to be and have the thing that we just talked about and developed in questions 1, 2, and 3, I want you to pause. This is number five, not 10, number 5. I want you to think about that mystical dream job that you're searching for on Indeed.com or ZipRecruiter or wherever it is that you are like spending time and energy dreaming of a new life. How is that role that you're seeking different from the one you have right now? Yeah. How is it different than the role you have right now? And what skills do you need to develop in order to soar in that role? Which means we're going to take that one step further. What opportunities do you need to seek out in your current role to develop those skills? We're no longer waiting for people to identify us and bring out the sword and knight us to say we're ready for this opportunity. No, we're taking control. We're in control of our own driver. We're the driver of our own car. Okay, we are in control. So what opportunities do you need to seek in your current role to develop the skills required for you to absolutely crush this dream job that you're going to go after? You see, changing jobs and progressing in your career, it's important, especially as we strive for new goals and challenges. But if you do not have complete autonomy over you, meaning you haven't learned to thrive in your current position, you will carry all the old characteristics and habits that you developed spinning your wheels and not prioritizing your health and forgetting to be actively present and work on your current relationships at home as well as how to have relationships at work. All of that's going to go with you. So then after the honeymoon phase of the new job wears off, you're right back to where you are right now, feeling depleted and undervalued. Do you get where we're going with this? So we need to get you back in the driver's seat, regardless of your job title and employer and whether you like them or not. Okay. So that's what we just went over, what that's about. And if you need help, I host a workshop every Friday called Ditch the Burnout Without Quitting Your Job, where I teach the 3 requirements to overcome and prevent burnout so you can stop surviving the day to day and start thriving in all aspects of your life. All you gotta do is click somewhere around this screen right here to register, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Mwah.